taser now!
Sometimes heroes wear no uniform. In heart-stopping moments captured on camera, ordinary civilians leap into danger, saving police officers with split-second courage, proving bravery isn't limited to the badge.
Why? Into my home! Into my home!
From the very outset, my mind could not wrap itself around whatever had happened. What had happened had to be extraordinary. Trooper Alexandria Duncan was on duty monitoring the traffic around mile marker 83, and suddenly a blur went past her patrol unit at an astonishing speed of 114 miles per hour. The 26-year-old driver, Angel Zapet Alvarad, showed no signs of stopping anytime soon. Duncan turned on her lights and sirens for a brief but tense chase before he finally pulled over. But the danger was far from over, as she noticed his hand holding on to the gear shift as tightly as the worst prospect of his taking off as soon as she turned her back. She tried to be a few steps ahead by grabbing the keys from the ignition, hoping to stop him at least from taking off. But that wasn't enough. The man completely disregarded her commands, and when she tried pulling him outside the car, he resisted the attempt with an unprecedented degree of force. She then fired the taser. However, within seconds, he was able to tear it free from her grasp, hurl it into oncoming traffic, and then, kicking the downed officer hard right in the head, the man started laying down blows himself.
Give me that taser now!
No! Into my home!
A real hero had entered the stage now. Kylie Sutton, age 31, from Rogers, was driving past the scene when she saw it unfold. She ran directly toward the manhandling, her valor affording Trooper Duncan that vital split second to draw her gun. One shot landed on the side of the suspect's temple. However, in shock, even after being hit, he resisted. Later, they found him to have 0.16 in blood alcohol content, double the legal limit. Trooper Duncan was injured but survived, and one thing is sure. If not for Kylie Sutton's bravery, the whole thing might have ended in tragedy. It makes you wonder, what would you have done if you'd witnessed something like that in real time? Just when you feel the last moment was intense, the next snatches your breath away and takes an even more gripping turn.
I know you're trying.
Radio road.
You got a vehicle. Sir, let me call my lawyer. You need a lawyer. You got a vehicle. I need to call my lawyer. You got a lawyer.
April 21st, 2022. Heber Springs, Arkansas. Corporal Griffin pulls over a car for tailgating and an improper pass. At first, a routine stop, but he immediately smells marijuana. The driver's attitude shifts, becoming defensive and confrontational. Griffin asks him to step out, but he refuses. Tensions escalate, and the man begins resisting physically. Body cam footage shows Griffin struggling to maintain control as the suspect tenses, pushes back, and flat out refuses to comply, turning a simple traffic stop into a dangerous encounter. And here's the part that blew my mind.
Just let him go there.
You got him?
Yeah.
You got both on?
I do.
The man, after witnessing the struggle, made an immediate decision to stop and rush toward the fight. A firearm was in his hand, not to threaten the suspect, but just as a safeguard. He had thought the man in the car might have been reaching for a weapon. From where he stood outside, he realized what was happening and jumped to Corporal Griffin's aid. Together, he and Corporal Griffin wrestled the suspect out of the car and held him down until they could finally get cuffs on him. No shots were fired. No one really had injuries. Later on, Griffin said that this outsider's decision might have been the deciding factor that prevented somebody from getting killed. Really makes you wonder, would you have intervened if you saw an officer getting into a brawl like that?
Oh, fuck. Man, bro. Man, homie. Fuck. Oh. Bro, I didn't
Get his name.
Oh, man.
Very 70, you say northbound Denver from 11.
Hey, can we...
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, an officer was stopping a man for something as minor as illegally crossing the street. Nothing major, until the man suddenly took off running. The officer gave chase, but the suspect was fast, dodging through traffic and making it nearly impossible to catch him. That's when a pickup truck pulled up. Behind the wheel was Ty Clem. Without hesitation, Clem jumped out into the middle of traffic and sprinted straight at the fleeing suspect. One perfectly timed tackle later, the chase was over. Clem held the man down just long enough for the officer to arrive and slap on the cuffs. As it turns out, jaywalking was the least of his problems. He was also charged with resisting arrest, possession of drug paraphernalia, and illegal firearm possession. It's incredible how one random driver ended a dangerous chase in seconds.
Driver, who happened to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu student, jumped in to help. The civilian pulled over, exited his car, and calmly used his BJJ training to control the suspect's legs and upper body. At one point, when the suspect tried to grab the officer's gun, the man firmly instructed him to let go, then helped pry the suspect's hand away. His calm communication and expert technique made the takedown safe and effective.
Hold up, things are about to get wild. Picture San Antonio, where officers were struggling with a suspect who refused to cooperate. Every time the cop thought he had control, the man wriggled free, flailed around, and created chaos. Just when it seemed out of control, a passing driver noticed the struggle unfolding and didn't hesitate to act. This wasn't an ordinary passerby. The man had trained extensively in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Without a second thought, he slammed on the brakes, jumped out of his vehicle, and ran straight into the fray. Calm and calculated, he didn't hesitate or make a scene. He simply applied his skills to restrain the suspect safely. His training became the key to preventing a potentially deadly situation from escalating. With precision, he pinned the suspect's upper body to the ground, like running drills at the gym. But tension spiked when the suspect suddenly reached for the officer's firearm. Without freezing in fear, the civilian commanded him to let go and physically removed the suspect's hand from the gun. His quick thinking and courage protected the officer in an instant. By the time backup arrived, the suspect was already secured. Gracie University later recognized the civilian as a legend, gifting him their 32 Principles of Jiu-Jitsu course for free. Imagine driving by and realizing you're the only person who can prevent a suspect from grabbing a cop's weapon. Would you have the nerve to step in? And now, another moment of bravery. In Houston, police chased a bank robbery suspect into a parking lot, where he spotted a car with a disabled father inside, intending to steal the vehicle and harm the occupant. But the father's son was there, ready to act. Without hesitation, the son jumped in front of the car, blocking the suspect's escape. The robber punched him square in the face, but he held firm until officers arrived. Moments later, the suspect was in custody, and the stolen cash was recovered. Quick thinking and zero hesitation prevented tragedy. Would you risk taking a hit to protect your family?
Come on! Come on! Come on! You're okay, bro!
You're okay. You're okay. Over here. Over here. Right here. You're okay, bro. You're okay. Breathe. You're gonna be all right. Hey, bro. I promise you that.
And this next one proves that heroes can come from the most unexpected places. Houston, Texas, sirens blaring, bullets flying, chaos everywhere. Police officers are exchanging fire with armed suspects, and right in the middle of it, a cop goes down. No cover, nowhere to hide, just out there bleeding, probably thinking, this is it. Enter John Lai. Yeah, that John Lai. The guy with a rap sheet, far from your squeaky clean TV hero. He doesn't hesitate. He bolts straight into the gunfire, grabs the wounded officer, and hauls him behind whatever concrete cover is nearby. Bullets are still cracking around them, but Lai keeps talking, keeps the officer calm, and refuses to stop until the threat passes. Because he acted without freezing or running, the cop survived. The city recognized his bravery in a big way. December 20th was officially named John Lai Day. You don't see that level of recognition for everyday courage often. Jump over to Ohio, where a routine burglary stop takes a turn for the worse. The suspect suddenly starts swinging wildly, and two random people nearby don't just record it, they jump in. They pin the suspect down until backup arrives, preventing serious harm to the officer. The department publicly praised their actions, rightly so. Down in Tampa Bay, another chaotic scene unfolds. An officer is just asking questions when the suspect flips, starts throwing punches, and grabs for the cop's gun. 3 bystanders, a cab driver, a pharmacy worker, and a pedestrian, don't hesitate. They tackle the suspect, wrestle him off the gun, and pin him down. The officer was roughed up, but thanks to these civilians, he lived to tell the story. Seeing moments like these makes you think, maybe there's hope for heroism in all of us. Ordinary people, in extraordinary circumstances, can step up and save lives when it matters most.
He pulled up in his car and offered the officer a ride to help catch.
On a sweltering Texas day, 2 officers chased a suspect who fled from a stolen vehicle stop. The pursuit was intense, winding through streets under the scorching sun. One officer began to falter from heat and exhaustion. That's when passing driver Jimmy Davis saw the struggle. Without hesitation, he pulled over and offered the officer a ride. It wasn't just a kind gesture. It gave the officer the boost needed to stay in the chase and help close the gap.
Or something like that. You could probably hear it in the video.
Had to get a taxi, don't mind me.
As they closed in, rookie officer Samuel Brown, fresh from the academy and working with just one arm, stayed right on the suspect's tail. The timing couldn't have been better. Davis stopped the car, Brown moved in, and seconds later, the cuffs were on. Brown even joked on the body cam, calling Davis's ride a taxi service. That split-second coordination turned a wild chase into a textbook arrest, proving sometimes help comes from the most unexpected places. A random driver deciding to jump in. Over at Honolulu Airport, chaos erupted when a homeless woman lunged at a TSA agent. People froze, but a tourist from California didn't hesitate. He vaulted over the security barrier, tackled her, and pinned her down. Security arrived moments later, but the quick action had already prevented further harm. Authorities called it heroic, an ordinary person stepping up in an extraordinary moment. Heroes don't always wear badges. Sometimes they're strangers, bystanders, or everyday people stepping up in critical moments. Their courage saves lives and inspires us all. Like, share, and subscribe to witness more incredible acts of bravery that prove anyone can make a difference when it truly matters.